Hi, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Solitaire Gems. I just wanted to get on here and welcome you to the room. If you are watching me and this is the replay, let me know in the comments section by putting a hashtag replay. So, I wanted to come before you tonight. I know our schedule has been a little off, but let me explain why. It is because of the announcement that I get to make tonight that I'm super excited about. Not only am I excited to share with you one gem to help as well tonight, but I have another announcement to make as well. So, if this is your first time joining me, or even if you joined me before, let me go ahead and start by introducing myself. My name is Jacinta Martin, and I am the creator of a blog called Fruitful Gems, and even a podcast called Polished Gems, and this YouTube channel where I get to share one nugget with you, one gem with you, to help your journey along the way. And the reason why we're called Fruitful Gems is because we talk about the nine fruits of God's Spirit. So tonight on Solitaire Gems, we're going to do just that. We're going to talk about me sharing one gem with you about how to rebuild friendship when it comes to foundations to love. So, rebuilding friendship when it comes to your foundations to love is super important. It's one of the types of love. So, we're going to get more into that, and I'm going to share with you what God has revealed for me to share with you tonight. The other thing is, let me go ahead and further introduce myself for if you do or do not know who I am. I also teach people to heal and rebuild to become whole in their mind, their body, and their spirit using the nine fruits of God's Spirit. The reason why I am so passionate about this and why I do what I do is because God did it for me and is still doing it for me. So I've been blogging since 2016 as well, and I happen to be a two-time author of two different books. One is a novel called The Fragmented Soul, and the other is a devotional called From Faith to Faith, a 45 days devotional. I also happen to be a mom of two and am a real estate agent in the state of Georgia. So, guys, that's the background about me. I don't want to keep holding you from this fruitful gem that I am so, or excuse me, this solitaire gem that I am so excited to reveal to you tonight about what God gave me. Before I get into that, though, I wanted to share the exciting news and also explain kind of why our scheduling has been a little off. The thing is, we've actually been really building behind the scenes. We've been making sure we've been building up, not only equipping and educating our audience about the nine fruits of God's Spirit and even how to apply those. And if you've been to our blog site, we just had two guest bloggers as well in the past. So even making room for other people to come on um, into our, I guess, community is the best word to say, and have them share their knowledge, their expertise of what God has done. But we wanted to create something solid as well for you to actually put these foundations into effect, right? Like when we share these solitaire gems, when we share the nine fruits of God's Spirit, um, we were like, where can we actually send people to get transformation? Where can we actually send them to implement this and it not just be lip service, right? We want transformation. We want to see you guys healed, set free, and delivered as well in the nine areas, in the nine fruits of God's Spirit, because we serve an almighty God. So, the news that I am so excited to share with you is this. Here at Fruitful Gems, what we have created for you is a course. We have been working diligently on it, and we are excited to share with you our course. What our course is nine ways to heal and rebuild your identity. And the reason why it's called that is because uh, those nine fruits of God's Spirit help our identity: love, joy, peace, kindness, and so forth and so on. Those things are building blocks to our identity and who God has called us to be. So, what we've curated for you is nine lesson modules which surround the nine fruits of God's Spirit. It has 27 assignments. It is a self paced course, so you do not have to be in a rush. You can actually take your time and really see what the course is about, understanding each lesson and assignment, and make sure to really hear what God is saying to you. The beautiful thing about this as well is it comes with a digital workbook for you to follow along. If you're somebody who likes to either write on your computer or your tablet, you can use it for that, or even if you'd like to print it out as well, so you have something physical. It is still done beautifully to go along with the course. The other thing that comes with the course that we're offering is our private community. We want to place you in a space where you can actually get the information you need, get some encouragement that you need as well. So, the other thing that I wanted to mention too with this course that can be added on, because you might be saying, oh my goodness, it's self paced. Am I going to be able to really go through it? Well, the other addition to let you know is that we do have the add on ability of coaching, and we can if that is something that you're interested in, we can let you know more about that. But I'm excited to let you know the way that we're introducing this course to the general public is and to everyone of our in our community is this, that normally our course is priced at $399, but we are offering it for a limited time. Our limited time offer is half off. I'm so excited we're doing this, that it is half off. So you can give us a try. You can check it out, check out this course and everything that we have to offer with it. I wanted to let you know the way you can take advantage of that half off pricing is going to the link below. I got it scrolling down there in the ticker to grab our course, The 9 Ways to Heal and Rebuild Your Identity. It is, you text half off the keyword to 866-397-2583. You text half off to 866-397-2583, and that is our toll-free number. It will take you to our website where you can get the coupon code and go ahead and do just that. So, guys, that's our big announcement. I wanted to make sure we got that information out because this is so exciting. We have been working on this. This has been a desire of our heart since actually last year, but it has finally come to fruition. The course has finally been completed with everything that we really wanted to do so we could offer this as a way that you can really grow in the fruit of God's Spirit as well. So, without further ado, now that I made that amazing announcement, let me get into tonight's gem that I really want to share with you. So, if you've been on these lives before, or if you this is your first time joining me, I always love to give what I call background context on what we're talking about for tonight. So, the first type of love we actually explored before in our other one. We talked about forgiveness being a foundation to love. Now, when it comes to a type of love, tonight I want to focus in on philia love. Now, philia love is often referred to as brotherly love. It's that kind of love that basically is defined as one that comes from a friend or a companionship. And it's basically a love of openness that is occupied and with shared interests and activities. Now, that's the definition of it as well. What I had to realize is when I started to open up my heart to love again, because I needed rebuilding in this area. I was struggling when it came to loving people as my friends. And I was always warned, you don't call everybody friend, you don't put them in that box. And I know our culture and society has even gotten into this no new friends. I just need my old ride or die or bestie type things. But at the end of the day, let me explain something. At the age that I am, and I don't know if I've ever revealed my age or not on these, but I'm 37 years old. And at 37 years old, I want new experiences. Not that change is easy, or not that it's always something that we look forward to as human beings, but I don't want to regret when I look back over my life and be like, everything was literally the same. I don't necessarily want that, right? So for me, what made me want to really transform and understand this type of love is when God started actually sending people my way to show me this type of love. I think I had gotten, it was right after I got out of college, I had gotten in this weird space of, I don't need nobody but myself. I think because I had some really interesting experiences and kind of bad experiences when it came to really making friends. And especially for me, when I was younger, it was easier for me to make friends with other men, but not necessarily with women. I had a couple of female friends, but my list of male friends was a lot longer. So because I struggled with that female connection, because for me, in all honesty, I really didn't like to gossip. I really didn't like to sit around and talk about certain things that other women really, or young girls at the time, really liked to talk about. This is why for me, it was never easy for me to make relationships, solid, good relationships with other women. So because I struggled, like I said, it was not, my heart was really not transformed in this area until God was like, I'm not actually going to send some people your way. And I think for me, I had to finally really truly get out of my way, out of my thinking, out of my thought process to really receive them. Because, like I said, I was so used to having other male friends because I felt like men didn't have certain hangups that women had or talk about certain things that women really like to talk about. Um, but when God transformed my heart, it helped me to discover a lot about myself. Basically, each assigned individual, especially these women, okay, these women friendships that God was sending me, every assigned individual to my life, I believe was strategically placed in my life to help me rediscover something about me that God saw in me. And I love that He did it this way because they came to help my life be better. They came to help my life be improved and not settle for who I thought I was, but actually grow and learn. And not only that, but just as the definition that I just gave you about philia love, what was interesting was that these women also share common interests. For example, whether it was in business, church ministry, they had children or were married at the time, or it was some other area of life that we really truly connected on. And what was interesting is God gave them authority to speak life into some area or similar aspect of my life that I really was struggling in, and even shine a light on the pieces of me that had been lying dormant. So I was so grateful to God when He did that. That even happened for me at church. He sent someone. I had joined our evangelism ministry at this particular church that I was going to, and God sent someone to me to help be a light to me in that area. What they spoke over me was what was lying dormant. I didn't know that there was this person who really wanted to share God with the world at the time because I was going through so much. I was going through so much pain, so much frustration. So, how could I share God's goodness in the midst of all that? I thought that was truly, truly, truly impossible. But God sent people, sent that particular person to me to help me understand that gifting inside of me, that and help awaken that as well. The same with another person got sent to me to awaken. I thought at the time that I was a stay at home mom, that I didn't have anything else to give in all honesty. And don't get me wrong, being a stay at home mom is a good aspiration. But what I didn't realize is God wanted something else for me. Like I never actually sat still enough to ask God what it is and what He desired. But in that particular season for me, being a stay-at-home mom was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being spending time with my daughter and helping to raise her, and just being a part of her different transitions in life. But what God wanted for me as I was transitioning out of being a stay-at-home mom into actually being a working mother. He sent a woman who was a working mother, who was building up businesses, to come help me transition literally out from one phase of life to another phase of life. So this is what I mean by friendships, and the type of friendships that I mean and that I'm also referring to, right? These people, especially when they're ordained by God to be in your life, that yes, they will share some common interests, but they will also want to see you be all that God is desiring or even asking you to be. So this type of love is even demonstrated through not just the aspects and the examples that I just gave you, but I wanted to share with you the biblical one as well. It's demonstrated through the relationship in which David and Jonathan shared in the Bible. You actually see that their relationship, of this filial love, this brotherly love, started between the two of them, actually in First Samuel chapter 18, verse 1 in the NIV version. It actually says this. It says, after David had finished talking with Saul, Jonathan became one in spirit with David, and he loved him as himself. Strong's Concordance goes on further to describe this type of love as having to do with being chiefly of the heart and the latter of the head. Now, what does that mean? Filial love or brotherly love actually really gets ingrained in our heart. Like, think about your past friendships or even your present friendships. What place do they have in your heart? Meaning, it actually starts in your heart, and that person's thoughts and things can actually end up in your head, right? That connection, that's how strong that connection is when it comes to our friends. Like, they really have a lot of a say so in our lives. Sometimes for some of us, even more so than our family members. So it's one of those things that I find it interesting that Strong's defines it as something being chiefly in our hearts, meaning it has a lot of weight there, and the latter of the head. And like I said, that type of love connects our emotions as well as our thoughts when it comes to expressing friendship love, when it comes to rebuilding love amongst friends as well. So, wanted to let you know this, that if you're in a season of healing and even rebuilding that type of love, it's worth it to examine your current friendships or even past friendships to see, have you closed off yourself to anyone new coming in, or are you sticking with just those friends only? Because what if you're in a new season that requires new friendships, and you need those new friendships to help you grow, those new connections to help you grow in whatever God is asking or calling you to become? Another thing is this: friendship love or filial love is one that allows us to experience that we are not alone. As unique as we all are, it is this type of love that proves to us that there is somebody out there like us. Meaning, we're not on an island of just on our own. The person that we share this with, this type of love or friendship with, may not share every one of our likes or dislikes, but enough of them to where we just don't feel disconnected in this world. When we get the opportunity to actually encounter this type of love or start these connections when it comes to friendship, it can feel refreshing, or even, dare I say it, transformative, especially if you've traveled through life currently or even prior feeling or being misunderstood, feeling alone or being misunderstood. It is in filial love that God demonstrates just how connected we actually all are. So, guys, I wanted to bring that up and share that with you so that you can understand. And I want to take a pause right here. If truly you need to rebuild the friendship love in your life, we have that in our course as well. Be sure to grab our course that we just introduced, where you can get the 9 module lessons when it comes to love. You can also get the 27 assignments as well. Get in our private group, get the digital workbook, and start your journey today. Text half off to get the half off price that we're offering. The numbers down below on the ticker as well. But without further ado, let me wrap this up and give you the one gem for tonight. So here it is. The solitaire gem for tonight is to rebuild the friendship foundation of love in your life. You must learn to trust again. I'm going to repeat that. I like to repeat it because sometimes the friendship foundation of love in your life, you must learn to trust again. Now, here's the interesting caveat that I didn't say in that gem. Not only does this apply to people, but this applies to God as well. You've got to be able to see God as friend, and you've got to learn to do that through trusting Him again, trusting that He has your best interests at heart. When you can do that with God, you can actually learn to apply this with others that come into your life. And then you won't want to reject the God ordained people who are coming into your life to help you in whatever area, whatever season you are in, or whatever God wants to grow you in. I'll give you a prime example. When writing my book, I wanted to get around a community of authors. I couldn't do that with just people I already knew because not many of them had written a book. So I had to get around people who have written books, who have been through the process, who understood the labor, how labor intensive it is, what I was going to come up against, who had good advice about it, and things of that nature. Getting into a group like that has allowed me to, as author, not get so easily discouraged, and then to find authors who've written different types of books. Because as I mentioned earlier, God had me write a novel and a devotional. Those are two separate type of books. So I needed to get around authors who understood what was what when it came to the book writing process, how to navigate it, how to not give up when you feel upset, and things of that nature. So creating those friendships, right? And those connections and getting around the people that you need to get around so you can be all that God is asking you to be. You need to learn to trust God as well as people again, especially if you've dealt with mistrust, feeling misunderstood, or even feeling like you're walking through life alone. Now, I could be the first to admit that I definitely have had trust issues. So much so that it was one of the things that God mentioned to me that needed to change in my life. Trusting others, especially trusting others with the different aspects of who you are, can be tough. Let me tell you this, you do not have to trust everyone with everything. I'm going to say that again. This is what God gave me, and it helped me to build up my trust again in Him and people. You do not have to trust everyone with everything. The only person asking you to trust them with your everything about yourself is God. But people, you do not have to trust them with everything. And here's what I mean. Just like I mentioned earlier about the areas of business, marriage, church ministry, and even books, I've learned that I can trust people with certain parts of me, and not everyone may be able to even handle every single part of who I am, my whole identity, my whole being, what I'm called to do, all of that, right? Only God has requested for me to trust Him in totality with my life, my identity, with who I am called to be, what the people who come my way and are ordained to be in my life. He wants me to trust Him in totality. But He never said that we had to trust every single body that comes our way in totality. So, meaning I have business friends for business. They are amazing for that, but they might not be the friends that understand the problems that I go through with my family, right? So, I don't have to share that side of myself with them, but I can trust them in business wholeheartedly. It is okay that that friendship connections are like that, but you have to get where you trust them for the things that they're called for to do, to say in your life. So, with that being said, what I want you to do, don't sweat it if the person that God sends doesn't share everything in common with you. And especially when it comes to business friendships, church friendships, book friendships. I'm just throwing anything out there. Put whatever is applicable for your life, right? But understand that the areas that they do share common interests are the ones that you will see yourself grow in as you learn to trust God, making sure that, and even asking, are they ordained from Him? Were they sent by Him? Because as you learn to trust and grow, you'll see yourself grow. As you learn to trust again, you will see yourself grow not only with when it comes to God, but with those ordained friendships and creating those long lasting ones as well, or even the ones that are just for a season. Because I can tell you, I have made some amazing friendships along this journey, some that are for a lifetime, some that have been for a season, and some that have just been for a moment. And I'm super grateful because each one that God has reassured me came from Him. I'm like, they have helped transform my life, helped me to grow, and help my identity to even become more solidified in God as well. So, like I said, that's our solitaire gem for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're watching the hashtag replay or just joining me, go ahead and put hashtag replay in the bottom as well. I love to see who's watching. But yeah, grab our course. It is so exciting to be able to say that and to introduce it. The course is 9 ways to heal your identity. And the reason why we called it that is because the 9 fruits of God's Spirit need to be a part of our identity. It needs to be something ingrained in us that, just like breathing, the air that we breathe, we don't think about it, we don't have to push for it. So, yeah, so definitely grab your course, take full advantage of the half off offer that we are offering for a limited time only to get that taken care of. To grab the course and get the half off, you can text to our toll-free number 866-397-2583 to take full advantage of our limited time offer of our 9 modules, 27 assignments, digital workbook, private community, and much more. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful evening. And like always, until next time, have a great night.